Hey, what's up guys? So Emanon here, and welcome to another episode of Inside DB Rated. This is the dual commentary series where we go ahead and spectate random matches on DB's ladder and just check out what people are playing. So this is going to be a match between Labris031 on Zephra versus Hans Hosi on Drytron. I know you guys do enjoy the Zephra deck quite a bit, so showing it off again here, but let's get started without any further ado. So it looks like Zephra won the RPS, and they're going to opt to go first, both players on 40 cards. The opening hand for Zephra is going to be Set Rotation, Terraforming, Zefrashi, Zephyr Providence, and Zephrath. So this is extremely strong, to the point where it's almost too many Zephra cards, but that's not that bad of a thing, of course, going first. So this is absolutely enough to set up the path into the the Utopic Zexal play. I was like trying to think of the name there, but yeah, this is pretty good. And then the Drytron hand is going to be Double Emergency, Nova, Manju, and Prep. So this hand's also good if they were going first, but no hand traps going second against this deck is going to be quite rough. They're not going to be able to play for quite some time. Main phase 1, going to start off with Terraforming. That's going to grab Oracle of Zephra. And then from here, you're going to activate the Oracle. That's going to search for another copy of Zefrashi. So the basic setup is to have like scales, including Zephrath to send Zefranu, and then you pendulum summon the Zefranu and the Zefrashi. So that's like how you're going to set up the croc play into path and all that stuff. So we're going to scale Zephrath, go for Zefranu, and then scale the Zefrashi, and then pendulum summon 2. That's going to trigger the Zefranu as well as the Zefrashi, I would assume. Yeah, because that chain blocks. So it turns it into a tuner. Gonna grab Divine Strike actually off of the Zefranu because we have Providence already. And that's what's going to grab path, I would assume. Yeah, you got a Synchro for Croc. Zefrashi goes to the bottom of the deck, and then Croc and Oracle trigger here. Oh, that was a misclick. But yeah, Oracle gets to stack any monster basically in tandem with either Stardust Charge or Croc. So that's going to grab most likely Planet Pathfinder. And then that's going to be drawn off of the Croc. So now this can be normal summoned and then grab the Numeron Network. Zephyr Providence is going to be activated. That's going to grab Path. And then Path, when it's activated, shuffles back any non-Zephyr monsters you control into the deck. So there goes the Croc back to the extra deck, which frees up your zones for the Numeron Network. It's pretty cool. So you're going to normal summon the Planet Pathfinder, go for Numeron Network, and then activate the network. And since there's no monsters, going to send the Calling and then make the Utopic Zexal. And that is going to be pretty good. It's going to be Path plus Zexal plus Divine Strike. And then going to set the set rotation and then pass. Return the top deck is going to be Ghost Spell for Drytron. I don't actually think that that would have mattered. I can't think of an instance where this would have been effective during the Zephra player's turn. I could be wrong here, but this is definitely not going to be able to play through Zexal this turn. Going to activate the Zexal in the draw phase. And then they're just going to set 4 and pass. End phase going to activate set rotation. That's going to set... actually, we can just check the logs here. That's going to set Numeron Network to... Oh, wait, no, never mind. Set Numeron Network to the opponent's field and then Oracle to their own field. Yeah, so... like, this is going to be pretty good. I mean, I'm not really sure if Zephra has the capacity to OTK, at least with this build, but this is a very strong lock on the game. Yeah, Path also shuts off the Drytron Nova, by the way, because that's really, really good there. For turn, the top deck's going to be another copy of Planet Pathfinder. I do actually wonder, this is kind of a side tangent, but I wonder how often it comes up to where set rotation actually sets Oracle of Zephra to the opponent's field so that they just are locked out of field spells. Probably not that common in this format because like Fafnir is the only like really popular field spell at the moment that I can think of, but like that's definitely come up before. But they're going to use their own Oracle of Zephra and then search Zefrashi. And then from here, you're going to activate Zephrath. That's going to place the Zefranu face up. And then going to Pendulum Summon, looks like 2. And then going to Chain Block again. So going to grab Providence off the new, and then Zefrashi going to turn the new into a tuner. Then going to activate Providence. That's going to grab War. And then going to, looks like Synchro Summon for another copy of the Croc. Well, it's the same copy that was shuffled back, I would assume. So that is going to be, again, stacking any monster with the Oracle and then drawing it off the Croc. So going to pick Zefrashi this time around. And then going to go into battle phase and attack for 2k and then 25. And then going to pass for turn. Hey, the top deck's going to be Fafnir, so what I mentioned earlier when it could have mattered, but obviously Zexel's gonna shut it off anyway. Here's the point where it gets a little dicey. Oh, they're just gonna scoop actually. Yeah, fair enough. Because even if you like go Manju, normal summon, and try and beat over the Zexel, you know that there's War in hand, so that's just gonna get popped, and then you just lose from there. So Zephra gonna take game 1 here in this match. So gonna move to game 2. Looks like Drytron's gonna start things off. If you guys are enjoying this commentary, definitely be sure to like the video and subscribe if you're new here and want to see more commentary similar to this style. But the opening hand for Drytron is going to be Fafnir, Emergency, Alpha, Natasha, and Prep. So this is really, really good. A very, very good hand for sure. And then the opening hand for Zephra is going to be, D-Shifter, Providence, Path, Zefraxiton, and Zephra. So this hand's also really good. D-Shifter going to put a big damper on the Drytron player's turn. Benton will still be able to trigger, but committing Drytron to the board, or more specifically linking them off, is going to be very scary. Going to activate Prep first. That's going to be met with D-Shifter. So we're going to grab Benton. And then going to activate Fafnir. That's going to search for a copy of Nova. And then going to activate Nova. That is going to summon a copy of Zeta. This is any card, right? Not just monster. Just making sure. Yeah, any card. Yeah, that's why the Prep is banished. And this should be banished too. But yeah, just making sure that like if you detach from Xyz material, it counts. So going to Alpha, Tribute Benton, summon itself. That's going to grab a search for Benton. And then Benton going to grab a search for Orange Light. That's an interesting one because this can't activate under Shifter. So I do wonder why that was searched there. Gonna link for Carrier. Wow, just getting rid of all the Drytrons. That's a bit scary to me. Going to go for Union Carrier to equip Dawn Knight. I wonder if they're aware that D-Shifter persists till like the end of the next turn as well. So if this gets cleared, the Dawn Knight's not going to be going to the grave. I think this could have been played maybe a bit different. I think either you just hold the resources and just like play like the following turn, or you like go for a more conservative approach. Maybe you go for like Fucho. I feel like this is just really, really vulnerable to losing out to all your follow-ups. Like, granted, there's Emergency still, plus Benton, so it's not horrible, but I don't know. This feels like a lot of cards were just banished. So, gonna pass on this. For turn, the top deck's gonna be Gamma. That's not really gonna be live from what I can tell right here. Well, it's alive, but it's not gonna be like used here, because again, Orange Light is off. Gonna activate Zephyr Providence. That's gonna search for Oracle. And then going to go Oracle. I guess that's like the one minor conflict there is like Providence Grave Effect won't be able to be used if it gets banished via Shifter. But that's super, super minor compared to the impact it has on the metagame. This card's really strong. Oracle gonna grab Zephrath. And then going to go for Zephrath. That's going to put the Zephrashi face up in the extra deck. And then going to go for Zefraxiton. It's always nice when you can use Zephrath as like a low scale later on, because the deck plays overall, I would say, more low scales than high scales. So if you've already opened the Zephra, then it's really good to like have a high scale to like go with this. Going to Pen Summon. That's going to Pen Summon 2. Going to Chain Block and go for 9 Pillars off of the Zephra, and then Zephrashi going to turn this into a tuner. And then going to link off into Gravity Controller, and then Battle Phase going to attack Union Carrier. So that's going to bounce the Carrier, and then the Dawn Knight will fall into the Banish pile. So that's going to be very, very strong. Going to activate Path, and then going to pass. For turn, the top deck's going to be Twin Twister. Not too bad. Although Gamma is going to be live potentially now. Emergency going to be activated. That's going to grab a search for Alpha. And then going to activate Alpha. That's going to pitch Benton. That's going to be negated. And it shuffles back into the deck as well. And then destroys the Zephra, so Zephra gets to search. And Benton as well. So Benton Chainlink 1, and then Zephra Chainlink 2. So War gets to be searched. And then the Benton going to search for Ava. And then going to set and then pass. Yeah, because right now this can't be targeted. as long as you have a card in your Pendulum Zone. Now, to be fair, it might have been worth going after the Scales while Providence isn't in Graveyard, because that's normally how they just protect everything here. Like I'm talking about with Twin Twister, of course. But not too bad. You can just hold it for next turn, I guess. This will be pretty interesting. Gonna activate Zefra, chain Twin Twister. That's gonna get rid of Natasha and the Fraxiton, and then Path goes because of its effect. So that is going to be very, very good for sure. I mean, both players are now kind of in top deck mode. Draws a copy of Joel. That's not a good one. Gonna pass. Draws a Franyu. That's one step closer. Gonna pass there. Gonna draw Fafnir. That's good for sure. Very good. Gonna activate Fafnir. Probably gonna chain War to hit the Oracle and the Fafnir. Yeah, chain War. Set Droll and then pass. This is something that I always find interesting is like they didn't set Droll the previous turn, but they're setting it this turn. I mean, to be fair, there's only one set of Scales away from just like the Zephra player calling their way back, but I mean, I'm not really sure how much in danger you are of getting OTK'd, but we'll see. But yeah, Zefra Thubin gonna be the top deck, so now we have complete Scales. So we're gonna scale them up and then go for Zefran new effect, that's gonna be met with Orange Light. Ava gonna be met with Gamma there. And then Battle Phase is gonna attack over Droll and then attack for 1,000. And then main phase 2, gonna synchro for a copy of Omega. This can put back Providence. So that's pretty neat. Going to draw Manju, which is not all like it's fine, but it's not gonna be effective right now. Just no Drytrons. Yeah, I really do think the Drytron player just probably shouldn't have committed resources under D-Shifter. It seemed to be pretty risky, honestly. Going to standby phase, yeah, Omega return the Providence. And then going to normal Manju, use the effect to search for Benten. And then pass. For turning the top deck is going to be Zephyr and Pilica. No targets in grave at the moment. But that's fine. Like, Zephyr is super far ahead right now. Going to Pendulum Summon, looks like just one. And then going to grab the Zefranyu effect. That's going to search for Providence. And then activate Providence to search Divine Strike. Yeah, War Divine Strike Omega is going to be very hard to beat. Battle Phase is going to attack into Manju. And then main phase 2, going to set Divine Strike and pass. For turn the top deck is going to be Gamma. That is not the greatest Drytron, but it gets there. Actually, you know what's going to happen is like we could go Gamma, Tribute Benten for cost, chain Omega. Now the Gamma is the only card in hand. So it gets banished off the Omega, and you just negate the Benten, and that's just crazy. So Drytron might just have to pass again, honestly. Well, or they're just gonna go for it. I mean, you might have to go for it as well. Like it's a tough position to be in here at this stage. So yeah, Gamma, Tribute Benten, chain Omega, that gets banished, and then Benten effect. Gonna grab Ultimatus, not even negating it actually. So that's fair because like, what's a fairy gonna do at this point? They went through Manju already, and they just have no cards. Yeah, this is just really, really good for Zephra right here. For turn, the top deck is going to be another copy of Zefranyu. Omega going to return in standby. So yeah, definitely can go for like some link plays. If they play Borosword, this is just game. Gonna normal summon Zephyr and Pilica, and then go into Lambda, and then Pendulum summon 2. That's gonna be Zephraxiton and Pilica, and the Niu out of hand. Niu gonna search for Oracle, and then gonna go battle phase. Oh, I think this is actually just enough damage, right? Yeah, this is 36, 46 plus 28. Yeah, that's definitely enough for game. So yeah, definitely gonna be taking this match 2-0 against Drytron. You saw the full combo game 1 with the whole Planet Pathfinder being stacked off the Croc and drawing it, or sorry, stacked with the Oracle and then drawing it off Croc, and then S0 just buying enough time for Zephra to set up, which is cool. And then this game, like D-Shifter, I think Drytron felt forced to try and make a play. They didn't realistically have to. It's true that Zephra like can put up a lot of interruptions. Maybe their fear was just the fact that S0 was going to come down again, which is like fair, I guess. it's not a like easy position because D-shifter is just crazy. But yeah, I mean, also to be fair though, like the Numeron combo has to, like, it requires several cards. Like you have to have like Zephra, which gets you access to Zefranyu, and you have to have a low scale, and then you have to also have Zephrashi to back it up. So it's not like impossible. We saw it in game one, obviously, but it's also not like the easiest thing to acquire. But regardless, I think that's very well played by Zephra. Again, getting to see it in action here. And you guys do enjoy this deck, so here it is, beating the Drytron deck. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like as well as any thoughts or feedback in the comments. Subscribe for more informative and competitive Yu-Gi-Oh content. If you want to, you can follow me on all social media platforms or support me via Patreon TCG Player. All the links in the description as usual. And until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. See you guys.